It's raining today and it's kind of cold and basically just perfect weather for me. Got me feeling bakelicious. So I'm gonna do some baking this afternoon. I think my body is ready. What I love about this time of year and specifically this kind of weather, it makes me want like warming spices like cinnamon. Chloe needs to say hi. Like I was saying, like warm spices like cinnamon, cloves, nutmeg, and one of my favorite kind of warming spices is cardamom, and I don't feel like people use it enough. It's so delicious and it pairs quite lovely with citrus, specifically orange. So I'm gonna make an orange cardamom loaf cake. I will link the recipe down below in the description so that you can get all the exact things. My oven is preheating to 350 Fahrenheit and I think we can get started because I need it. To my small bowl here, I have some all-purpose flour and I'm gonna add in some baking soda, some kosher salt, and my spices. I have the cardamom here, cinnamon, and I did add a little bit of nutmeg. I don't believe that's in the recipe, but that's just me. And I'll whisk this to combine. Oh, it smells so good. Set this aside. Separate bowl, I am just using my hand mixer, but if you have a stand mixer, go for it in there. I'm gonna just put my butter, room temperature, and I'm just going to give this a beat. Then goes in my sugar, and give this another beat until this is all incorporated. Add my eggs in one at a time. No shells. Next is some sour cream. Weapon of choice, microplane. And in goes the orange zest. Lots of orange zest. Combine that. Now I'm just gonna toss the dry in. I'll do it in a couple batches. And I'm just gonna give it a little hand mix the rest of the way. Just make sure everything is incorporated from the bottom and there are no dry spots. Got my prepared loaf tin here and I've just sprayed it with some nonstick spray and put some parchment paper down to also help it not stick, but also it's much nicer when you take it out of the oven and you have little handles here and just pop it right out. The smell in here is intoxicating. It smells like just fall and goodness. And spread this evenly. I'm gonna pop this into my oven. The recipe calls for like 45, 50 minutes, I think. I don't think this is gonna take quite that long because it's kind of thinner than I think that it calls for in the recipe. So I'm gonna start checking it around 30 minutes, but you use your judgment. You just want this to be done nicely brown on top, and so a skewer should come out clean. The recipe does actually call for like a topping of like sugar, almonds, and some more cardamom and cinnamon, I think, but I don't want to do that. I think I'm just gonna put a little bit of sugar on top, give it a little crunch, ready to pop her in the oven. And here we have it. This thing smells unbelievable. I was quite wrong before. This was in my oven for about 50 minutes and I'm gonna check just to make sure we are good to go and came out clean. I'm just going to let it cool in this container for a few minutes, then I'm gonna put it on a rack to cool all the way through. I've decided that this does need a topping, and that topping is a glaze. I think that it would just do it so much good. Just some confectionate sugar. The amount really doesn't matter as long as the ratio is there for the texture that you want. Puts a little bit of the orange zest in here. Might as well get some cardamom, just a little bit. careful with the juice. You don't want to add too much, but the perfect thing about an icing like this is that if you add too much juice and it ends up being too loose, just add some more sugar. If it's too tight, add some more juice. This is actually quite thick, but I like this texture for it. See? It's just gonna be beautiful. Actually, I want to have a little more fun. I'm just supreming this orange. I cut all of the little rinds off, and then you kind of go in between these little membranes here. See, just like that. It's perfect. It doesn't have any of that pith on there or any of the membrane. It is a perfect little piece of orange. She's really pretty. Now to dress her up a bit. More sea salts. There we have it. Smells so dang good. I need to have some of this. It's still warm. Oh, it is so perfectly done. Ooh, hot. It is beautiful. Can you see that in there? Perfect. And it smells amazing. I must get stuck into this. Perfectly baked and the top is nice and crunchy. My first bite. That is good. I feel like you would get this at a coffee shop. This on like Sunday morning brunch or just like a cozy afternoon snack. Like now on a rainy day, this is a yes. That is so good. You gotta make it. I know you'll love it and enjoy.